Today we're just going to have a lot of fun. I've got several updates for you, as well as things that people have been asking me over and over again in emails, and I've seen some things on Facebook I feel like we need to talk about together. I'm going to show you some fun mail that I got and open it with you, and lots to think about if you've got a cruise booked, you're even thinking of booking one, or you are going to book one soon. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips, and today is Monday. It is May 6th of 2024, and I want to invite you to join us at our live this evening. We will be starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, so go ahead and join us, bring your questions, and come and be ready to have a fun time talking about cruising. We really look forward to seeing you there. Now, let's start off at the very top. I want to show you my mail, and the reason that I want to show you my mail is because it's something you should think about when you're going to go on a cruise. Now, the mail that I got, it just came on Saturday, is from the National Trust. If you're not familiar with the National Trust there in England, I apologize for the noise here. They own and manage an awful lot of historic properties there. Get that off and quit making noise. And what they do is they have a book every year that they put out that's the National Trust book. And in this book, it lists all the properties, information about it, what you're going to see there, the hours that they're open, how much it costs to get in, and lots of just beautiful pictures, all of these things to think about. So when you sign up for that, you get all of this information, and at the time that you sign up, you also get a book at that time. So last year we signed up for the National Trust when we were in England in October. So at that time they gave us the 2023 handbook, as well as some other information. And when you sign up there, when you are in England, you can either sign up for the Royal Oak Foundation, Royal Oak Society, that is the branch in the United States of the National Trust for people who live in the U.S., or they will give you the option of, if you live in the United States, you can also sign up for the regular National Trust, as I call it. And we decided to sign up for the regular National Trust. I'm a member of other foundations here in the United States that manage historical properties, and I wanted to see and experience what the British people receive as part of theirs. And so this is what also came in the mail. There's the magazine that they put out that we also receive. And so when you are going to go on a cruise somewhere, I think it's really important that you look up a lot of information before you go. This goes for not only where you're going to visit before or after your cruise, but also while you are in port there, because there is so much to see that you don't want to go somewhere and then as you're leaving or once you get home find out, oh, that was there, I should have gone and seen it. We all do that a little bit anyway, but researching before you go will really help you out, and it also be a good guide to you as you try to choose excursions or decide what you want to do for your day when you're in port. Alrighty. The other thing that I think is kind of interesting is often you can save some money with it. So when we signed up for the National Trust in England, you get a pass that gets you admission to a lot of the properties there without having to pay. And so we used that at several properties last year, and we're going to use it when we go again in June. So we will be using it both times, as well as getting the book and a lot of other information. So when I look through this, I can kind of decide in looking at the roads we're going to go on, like so we don't miss something. If we're driving down a road and there's a National Trust property we want to take a look at. So just wanted to put that out there. Do a lot of research before you go on your cruises, okay? Now, the next thing let's talk about. So last week on our live, we had a lot of questions come up, and some of them I knew the answer to right off, some not, and a very generous Let's Go family member sent me the answers to several of them, and I hadn't had the chance really to share them with you, so I wanted to do that today before we get to our next live. So first of all, on the Enchanted Princess, I couldn't remember if it was Alfredo's or Gigi's. It's Gigi's. Now, if you have been on a princess ship that has an Alfredo's, Gigi's is the same thing. It just has a different name. So if you enjoy Alfredo's, like I said, and you're going to go on another ship and you see that they have a Gigi's, it's the same venue, alrighty? And it's one of the casual dining venues that Princess has. Princess started the whole idea of their casual dining at the beginning of August. Last year, I think it went into effect August 2nd. I want to say the 2nd, the 4th, right around there. And if you want to dine there, it's $14.99 per person every time you dine there for what they call their fixed price menu. So you get, you don't do 2 entrees, you do 1 entree, and you do an appetizer and a dessert. And if you've got the Plus package, you get to have 2 of those during the course of your cruise. And if you have the Premier package, you get unlimited. So heads up about what they have got as far as that pizza place, the Italian dining place that they've got there on the Enchanted Princess. Also, I had mentioned that for a while we were hearing that there were the $8 pizzas up at the Slice Pizza place up by the pool. They don't have that anymore. And so you just go get free pizza at the Slice Pizza place. I always really like it. Some people like it, some people don't. It has been voted the best pizza at sea. Some people tell me that MSC has the best pizza at sea, which would be so appropriate because it's an Italian-owned cruise line. And so I'll have to try that sometime. But anyway, that's where we stand with pizza on the Enchanted Princess. Also, the Ocean Terrace sushi place is a casual dining location as well. And here's a really important one for those of you who ask. There are no fees at the blackjack tables. Some people wanted to know if there were fees associated with that. There are not, which is great. I hear that some cruise lines do have fees with that. A reminder that if you're going to be flying out of New York and you have a flight booked for 3:30, watch what time your excursion is going to get done. If you are going to take one of those tours that takes you on an excursion when you leave the ship and then we'll drop you off at the airport, make sure that you get to the airport a couple of hours early. I think that's the best counsel because you never know what's going to come up. You never know how long lines are going to be to either check in or to get through security. So make sure that you can see, and when you book those excursions, it always says how long they are and the time frame that they run between. So make sure you've got a good cushion of time there. And then redeeming, when you get those points on your Princess Visa card, to redeem those, you call the phone number on the back of your credit card and ask to speak with the redemption department, and they will help you redeem those points, okay? And it's my understanding, and I really should get a Princess Visa card, I guess, but my understanding is that when you redeem those points, that credit goes onto your statement. It doesn't go, they don't put a credit onto your, I'm sure, they don't put a credit onto your cruise. They will put a credit onto your credit card. So say you've got a $200 credit coming or $300, whatever it is, they'll put that on your credit card, then you pay for your cruise, and that will help offset some of the money that you owe for your cruise. So if you have any other questions about things like that, go ahead and put them below, and I'll be happy to answer them. And if I don't know the answer, we always have someone that does. And thank you to all of you who take the time to share information with me. I really appreciate it. And that's what we're all here together for, is to have a lot of fun, to talk about cruising, and to share with each other so that we all have a better time and go forward a little bit more well-informed. Now, we've got some updates from the Discovery Princess and the Enchanted Princess and the Regal Princess. So let's start with the Discovery Princess. The Discovery Princess, you might recall, right after we got off at the end of that eclipse sailing, they ended up starting to work on the O'Malley's and the gelato area there. It was all boarded off. And now where the Salty Dog Gastropub used to be located is a brand new beautiful O'Malley's that is all set up and running. And then the gelato area is also back open again. So thank you to our Let's Go family members who are so kind to share photos with me. I really appreciate that. And so we've got a new venue to look forward to on the Discovery Princess. And I think it's great that they're getting that done and in place in time for the Alaska season so everyone can enjoy it. Now, I will tell you about the O'Malley's. O'Malley's fills up quickly. I've noticed just on reading not only on our Facebook page, but on other Facebook pages, a lot of times they say that by 5 o'clock it is full. They usually play Irish music there. They have food. It's a lovely time. So if you want to enjoy O'Malley's, go early. Now, and also a quick note, if you didn't know, O'Malley's is one of the casual dining locations, and you don't make reservations for those. It is first come, first serve. Now, on some ships, some of the casual dining places do take reservations. So just check with the ship that you're on, and I find it the best policy to ask once you're on board, because that's where you're going to get the best answer to that question. And And if you're not sure about the question you get on the dine line, because sometimes I've gotten the wrong answer there, just go to that venue and ask about whether or not they require reservations. But as far as I know, O'Malley's has never had reservations, okay? A quick update for you all on the Regal Princess. We've got a Let's Go family member on there. They are having a lovely cruise. They say that the food is very good. The dinner reservations are running smoothly, which I love when I hear that going on. They've got live music, even live music at the Platinum and Elite reception. And on the dinner menu, they have New York strip available every day under the Princess Favorites, which is really nice. I want to try to remember. There was a cut of beef that was always on the menu on the Princess Favorites when we were just on the Discovery Princess. For some reason, I want to say sirloin, but I could be wrong about that. So look when you're on board and see. They always have some cut of beef available, and so you can order it the way that you would like it to be cooked and enjoy your dinner that way. They heard a great comedian. They say that there is music everywhere. They are having an absolutely wonderful cruise on the Regal Princess. So I am really excited because we get to go on the Regal Princess on June 8th. So if you just aren't busy and you think, you know what, going to the British Isles might be a good idea, go ahead and come and join us. It's a 12-day cruise, Regal Princess, round trip Southampton, and we're going to go and we're going to have a wonderful time with our group. So wanted to bring you up to date on all of that. And I've got another note for you here about the Regal Princess. So I have been trying to keep an eye on what is coming up on the itinerary of the Regal Princess. And there's been a lot of talk about knowing how to pack for different themed nights on Princess. And a lot of things to go with that. So first of all, maybe like in the last week or so in my video, I mentioned that if you want to know what some of the themes would be on an upcoming cruise, keep an eye in your app on the schedule of events. It's under Journey, so across the bottom where it says Journey, click on that, and then you can see either My Journey, which would just like mine has our dinner reservations, and it has one event that I selected that we don't want to miss. So make sure you click on the ship schedule and it'll bring everything up that they have got there so far. I do notice that I don't know if they're not done updating what's going to be on our ship, or if we're not having a ton of live music in the piazza, but on the second night of the cruise they say that it is an ABBA dance party. So to me, that's a theme. If you want to wear anything ABBA-esque or anything disco-ish, you could do that. Is ABBA disco? I don't know, but I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments that you can go ahead and literally look through. So every night on ours from 10 to midnight, it says that the DJ is going to spin the hits in the piazza, except for that one night that it shows the ABBA party on the second night, and then the second to the last night it's going to be I Love This Party. And that's going to be a separate party. And so we'll just kind of find out and let you know. On some of them, they will say that it's going to be like an 80s dance, not an 80s dance party, but an 80s music party. And then you can wear your 80s stuff. I really do think that it depends on the sailing. When we were just on the Discovery Princess, it was really easy to see if there was a theme for that evening and if you wanted to dress up like that or not for that. But as far as they've got their formal nights, the first night's a formal night, the second night they usually call Dress to Impress, and other than that you can just decide what you want to take. I've not seen a lot of the white and gold parties lately, but it'll be fun to see if they come back in the summertime, especially up in Alaska, because there's always a lot going on in Alaska in the summertime. Alrighty, next note for you all. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, will you please go ahead and hit that subscribe button? Like I said, we are trying to make it to 25,000 subscribers really soon now, so we'd appreciate your support and we need to have you here. Also, if you appreciate my updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? Believe it or not, that makes a really big difference, so thank you. Let's talk for just a minute about how you should think about what cruise ship you are going to book your cruise on. And I've been thinking about this a lot. We had Let's Go family members who boarded the Caribbean Princess, and there were a block of cabins that they reported that the toilets wouldn't flush and they didn't have hot water. Well, fortunately, it wasn't too long until we got an update that those problems had been repaired. During the course of that, I really enjoyed following along with all of the comments for people, and it's always fun to read your comments, and I really appreciate appreciate those of you that take time to post things in Facebook and that post your comments, because it really informs me a lot about what people are thinking. So when I think of how to choose a cruise ship that you're going to go on, I think it's really important to note that any cruise ship can have trouble. Any of them can have trouble with things as basic as the toilets flushing and hot water, to the air conditioner not working right, to all of these other things going on. And it's not always just the oldest ships that have the trouble. Sometimes brand new ships can have trouble. And so here's what I would tell you that I would think about when you're going to book a cruise. If you have a certain class of ship that you particularly enjoy, whether it's the smaller ones with Princess, the Royal class with Princess, and now we've got the beautiful Sphere class with the Sun Princess, whatever it is that you enjoy the most, I think that's what you should try to book. Now, the tricky part comes in when the ships that you like the most are not sailing to the places that you want to go. And I want you to know that I think that it would be really sad if you missed going to some destinations that you wanted to go just because, for example, only the smaller ships go there. And that does happen with a lot of things with Princess. Some of the most amazing itineraries are sailed by their smaller ships a lot of times. And so keep in mind that things can go wrong on any ship. And I know that, yep, of course, as things get older, you just think that the likelihood of something breaking down increases. And it does. But at the same time, a lot can go wrong with brand new ships as well. So I'm talking to you about this just so that you don't miss out on anything. Take the time to look at all the itineraries, see what's going where you want to go, and then go. That would be my opinion. Forever, I would not book a cruise on the Island Princess of all the silly things. People said that she didn't have an international cafe. When they redid her, they put some cabins around where part of the promenade deck was. And I just thought in my mind somehow that was a deal breaker. So last year when we wanted to go on that cruise that went to Iceland and Scotland, it ended up that was the ship doing the itinerary. So since I really wanted to go and see those places, we went ahead and booked that cruise, and it was fabulous. It was absolutely wonderful. I was actually looking forward to going on the Island Princess again when we got to go on her for the Northern Lights and last October. And that would be the same thing. We booked it because we wanted to go see the Northern Lights, and that was the ship doing it. The Caribbean Princess that people were saying that had the trouble this weekend, that is the ship that's doing the Northern Lights this year. Next year, the ship that's going to be doing the Northern Lights is the Emerald Princess. And so you just have to choose what you want to do and do it. Now, Carnival, this is really kind of a fun thing. I think it's really cool that we've got cruise ships sailing out of so many different ports here in the United States. Carnival is celebrating their 30th anniversary, 30th, if you can believe it or not, of having a ship in port there in New Orleans. And so they first started sailing there, of course, in 1994, 30 years ago. And so now they are bringing a whole new ship there as part of their celebration of that 30 years. So the Carnival Liberty is now going to be home ported there in New Orleans and sail round trip out of New Orleans year round. They already have the Carnival Valor sailing round trip out of New Orleans. I thought it was really interesting that Carnival says that every year they take roughly 400,000 cruise passengers out of New Orleans on cruises. So if you have never sailed out of New Orleans, I recommend it. We sailed out of New Orleans a year ago this January. It was a year ago, and it's when we went on that vloggers cruise, and it was really fun. It was on Norwegian. It was on the Breakaway, I think it was, and that sail down the Mississippi River to reach the Gulf of Mexico there is really something extra special. And if you want to watch, we have our sail away that we did so that you can see the river as we go. It was amazing. So just wanted to put that on your radar as another thing to do. There are other cruise lines that go out of there now and again, but really Carnival has the largest presence there in New Orleans. So the thing that I would like you to tell me about in the comments is, have you sailed out of New Orleans? What cruise port are you most looking forward to sailing out of that you have never sailed out of before? I think that would be really fun for us to talk about together, as well as what you think about the things that I've talked about today. Thank you for being here with me today. I'll see you here again tomorrow, and I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.